Hi, boys and girls. It's Miss Mindy. I know it's been a long time since we've talked, and we're going to finish our book today, but let's recap, okay? We were reading Junie B. Jones and the Stupid Smelly Bus. Chapter 1 is when she first went to the school and she met Mrs. We have yet to find out Mrs. who because she forgot her name, and how she was going to start kindergarten and she found out she was going to have to ride the bus, and how very unhappy she was about that. So I'm going to show you the pictures. There she is, all dressed up to go and meet Mrs. Oh, and here she is when she kicks up her foot to show the new shoes that she got. Do you remember that part? And then she talked about the bus, and here is when she really found out about the bus, and they wouldn't talk to her about it. They were talking to each other, and she kept trying to interrupt. Oh, she got so mad. And then we went into when she was feeling squeezy because she got on the bus, and it really did smell. And she met that other little girl with the curly black hair, and there's a picture of the bus. Do you remember that? You might need to go back and look at the other videos, but maybe not. You might remember. The Stupid Smelly Bus is chapter 3, when she's actually on it. And then when she meets all the other children, Mr. Wu is the bus driver, and Jim is the little boy who wasn't happy to be on the bus in the afternoon. He had a backpack and it was blue. Okay, so let's go to the next. We're on chapter 4. Oh, here's a picture. It looks like everyone's trying to get off the bus. Do y'all remember that picture? Okay, let's see what else. Me and Lucille and some other kids. Remember they toured the school and they walked around with everybody? And she found out she didn't like Jim from the bus. She didn't like him. And the little girl, Lucille, and they had to draw, and her whole name didn't fit, but Lucille's name fit so pretty, and how mad Junie B got about that. Okay, and then, remember when she went to the principal? Chapter 5, she was at the principal. And here they are waiting, and I think it's Jim. Was it Jim? No, William. William's the little boy she met when she went to meet the principal that day. The little boy who came in and she said in her head that she could probably beat him up. Y'all remember that? Yeah. Well, there he is because he has to go to the bathroom. Remember that part? Okay. And then it was time to go home, and she didn't want to get back on the bus. And she hid. Remember when she hid with the papers in the closet? Okay, and that brings us to chapter 7. It's called Peeky Holes and Spying. This is the chapter we're on now. After a while, I started to get a little bit thirsty while she was hiding, remember? That's what happens when chalk sprinkles get in your throat. I would like a drink of water, I think, I said. Then I put my hands on my hips. Yeah, only what if somebody sees you at the water fountain, then you might call the stupid smelly bus to come get you, and so you better not go. She's talking to herself. I stomped my foot. Yeah, only I have to go because their dumb chalk is in my throat. Then all of a sudden, I got a great idea. I pulled a chair over to the door and I peeked out the window at the top. I'm a good peeker. One time, I peeked right into Grandpa Miller's mouth while he was sleeping, and I saw that dangly thing that hangs down in the back of his throat. I didn't touch it, though, because I didn't have a little stick or anything, that's why. Anyway, I didn't see anybody in the hall, and so I opened the door a crack, and I sniffed, because when you sniff, you can smell if there's people around. I learned sniffing from my dog, Tickle. Dogs can't smell everything. No, dogs can smell everything. People can mostly just smell big smells, like stink and flowers and dinner. Nope, don't smell anyone, I said. Then I ran to the water fountain, and I drank for a long time, and nobody tapped on me and said, hurry up, girl. After that, I stood on my tippy toes, and I tippy-toed to the media center because I love that place, remember? The media center is kind of like a fort. The shelves are like walls and the books are sort of like bricks. And you can move some of them around and make peeky holes. Peeky holes are what you spy out of. Then if you see somebody coming, you can make your breath very quiet and they won't find you. I spied for a long time, but nobody came. The only people in the media center were just me and some fish. The fish were in a big glass tank. I waved at them in there. Then I stirred them with a pencil. Oh, that's not good. I love fish very much. I eat them for dinner with coleslaw. Just then I saw my most favorite thing in the whole world. Its name is an electric pencil sharpener. Miss Irizarry has an electric pencil sharpener, doesn't she? And it was sitting right on the librarian's desk. Hey, I said, very excited, I think I know how to work that thing. Then I looked in the desk drawer, and guess what? There were lots of brand new pencils in there. And so I sharpened them. It was fun. It was funner than anything because an electric pencil sharpener makes a nice noise, and you can make pencils as teeny as you want. You just keep pushing them into the little hole, and they just keep on getting teenier and teenier. It doesn't work on crayons, though. I tried a red one. Then the pencil sharpener slowed way down, and then it made a sound. And after that, it didn't go anymore. Just then I heard a noise. It was walking feet, and it made me scared inside because I didn't want anyone to find me, that's why. And so I squatted way down and looked through my peeky hole. There she is, looking through the peeky hole in the library. Hold on. Then I saw a man with a trash can. He was singing Somewhere Over the Rainbow. That's a song I know. It's from my favorite movie, which is called The Wizard of Oz. The man with the can didn't see me. He walked down the hall. Then I heard him go outside. I stayed squatted down for a long time, but he never came back. Whew, that was a close one, I said. And so then I ran to find a better place to hide. She had a really good time in the library, didn't she? The dangerous nurse's office. Guess where I ran to? Straight to the nurse's office, of course, because there's those little plaid blankets to hide under. There's other neat stuff in there, too, like a scale to weigh yourself and a sign with a giant E and other letters. The nurse uses the signs to test your eyes. She points to the letters, and you have to yell out their names. You have to yell the E the loudest. That's how come it's so big. And guess what else I saw in the nurse's office? Band-Aids. That's what. I love those guys. They were on top of the desk, and so I opened the lid, and I sniffed them. I said, because Band-Aids smelled just like a brand new beach ball. Then I dumped them out. They were the prettiest Band-Aids I ever saw. They were red and blue and green and also yellow, which is the color I hate. And they were different shapes too. There were squares and circles, and some were that very long kind, which are called tangles, I think. I put a green circle on my knee. That's where I fell down on the sidewalk last week. It's mostly all better now, but if I press it very hard with my thumb, I can still make it hurt. After that, I put a blue tangle on my finger. That's where I got a splinter from the picnic table. Mother pulled it out with tweezers, but there's still some table in there, I think. Also, I put a red square on my arm. That's where Tickle scratched me because I got him all wound up. Just then, I saw the nurse's purple sweater. It was hanging on her chair. I put it on. Now I'm the nurse, she said. Then I sat down and I pretended to call the hospital. Hello? Hospital, it's me, the nurse. I need some more Band-Aids and some aspirin and some cherry cough drops. Only not the kind that make your mouth feel freezy. And I need some lollipops for when kids get needles. And also, I need a little stick or something in case I have to touch that dangly thing that hangs down in your throat. Then I pretended to call room 9. Hello, Mrs.? Please send that Jim to my office. I have to give him a shot. Just then, I saw my favorite thing in the whole world. They were near the door, and their name is crutches. Crutches are for when you break a leg. Then the doctor puts it in a big white cast with just your piggies sticking out. What are piggies? Your toes, right? And you can't walk on it. And so she gives you crutches to swing yourself. I run over and pick them up. Then I put them under my arms, only they were way too long for me, and I didn't swing that good. And so then I got another idea. I carried them to the nurse's chair. There she is trying to work with them. And I climbed up there so I was real tall. And then I put the crutches under my arms, and they fitted just right. After that, I stood on the edge of the chair, and I leaned forward very slowly, except that a terrible thing happened. The chair was on wheels, and it rolled away from my feet, and I got stuck on the crutches way high in the air, and I was very dangly up there. "Hey," I shouted, "get me down from here." Then I wiggled around, and one of the crutches slipped, and I came crashing down, and I banged my head on the desk. "Ow, ow, ow, ow," she yelled. Then I picked up the phone again. "I quit this stupid job," I said, and then I ran out of there very fast. 'Cause the nurse's office is a dangerous place, and crutches aren't my favorite thing. Ooh, I think she learned a little lesson there. Okay, chapter 9. Zooming speedy fast. I like running inside the school. It's funner than running inside your house. In school, you can zoom with your arms out like a jet plane, and you don't knock over the furniture, and also the head doesn't get broken off your mother's bird statue, which used to be a blue jay, I think. I zoomed straight to the cafeteria because there's lots of tables to hide under in that place. Only when I tried to open the door, it was all locked up. And so then I ran to another room across the hall. Only that stupid door was locked too. "Hey, who did all this dumb locking?" I asked. Then I started jiggling up and down because I was having a little bit of a problem, that's why. The kind of problem that's called personal. And it's about going potty. And so all of a sudden I had to run down the hall, speedy quick, right to the girls' bathroom. Only guess what? When I got there, that stupid door wouldn't open either. And so I kicked it and I banged on it. I hanged on the handle because I weigh 37. "Open up, and I mean it," I yelled. But the door kept on staying shut. "It's emergency," I shouted. And then all of a sudden I remembered that the boy I can beat up because he had emergency too, and he got to go into the boys' bathroom. And so I zoomed across the hall and I pulled on the boys' bathroom door, but that dumb thing was locked too. "Stupid, stupid doors," I hollered. After that, I started to jiggle up and down very fast. Oh no, now I'm going to have an accident on my skirt that looks like velvet. Only just then I remembered something else about emergencies, because Mother told me what to do if I ever needed help. And it's called call 911. And so then I ran back to the dangerous nurse's office because that's where the phone is. That's where the phone was, of course. And then I picked it up and I pushed the 9 and then the 1 and another 1. Okay, boys and girls, we never call 911 just to go to the bathroom. Okay? So remember that. Only in true emergencies do we call 911. "Help, this is emergency," I yelled. It really wasn't an emergency though. "All the doors are locked in this place and now I'm going to have a terrible accident." Then I heard a voice on the other end. She said for me to calm down. "Yeah, only I can't because I'm in big trouble and I'm all by myself and I need help real bad." Then the lady said to calm down again, except for I couldn't stand still. And so I just hung up and ran right out of there. And I just kept running and running till I got to the big doors at the end of the hall. And then I runned right outside because maybe there might be a little toilet out there or something. Except I didn't see one. And all I could hear was sirens. Loud sirens were all over the place, and they kept on getting closer and closer, and then a big green fire truck came zooming right around the corner, and a white police car, and a fast red ambulance. And guess what else? they turned right into the school parking lot. And so I stopped jiggling for a second and I sniffed to the air, only I couldn't smell any smoke. Then I heard a grouchy voice. "Hey, hold it, Missy," it yelled. And I got very scared because Missy's my name when I'm in trouble. I turned around. It was the man with the can, and he was running at me. Look, we finally have pictures. And there's the janitor coming at her. I think it was in chapter 1 we learned that her mom calls her Missy when she's in trouble. Remember that part? "Hold it right there," he hollered again, and then I started to cry. "Yeah, only that's the trouble. I can't hold it," I said. "I already holded it all I can, and now I'm having an emergency, and all the bathrooms are locked, and now I'm going to have an accident very quick." And then the man with the can didn't look so grouchy anymore. "Well, why didn't you say so, sis?" he said. Then he pulled a big bunch of keys out of his pocket and he grabbed my hand, and then him and me zoomed back into the school, speedy fast. Chapter 10. I think this is the last chapter. Me and that Grace. The man with the can unlocked the girls' bathroom for me, and I ran right in there. And guess what? I made it. That's what. I didn't have an accident on my skirt that looks like velvet. Whew, that was a close one, I said. Then I washed my hands at the sink with soap, and I looked in the mirror, and the gold star was still on my forehead. It looked very beautiful up there. After that, I went into the hall, and the man with the can bended down to me. "Everything okay, sis?" he said. And so I nodded my head. I holded it. I said, very happy. Then all of a sudden, there were lots of people running at us. There were firemen and policemen, and there was a tall lady rolling a bed on wheels. "Hey," I said to the man with the can, "what happened? Did somebody get run over in here or something?" Then I saw Mrs. and Principal and Mother. They were running at us too. And then Mother bended down and hugged me very tight. After that, everyone started talking at once, and nobody was using their quiet voices, and nobody was smiling either. Principal started asking me a jillion questions. Mostly they were questions about hiding in the supply closet. "I'm a good hider," I told him. Principal acted a little bit grumpy. He said I wasn't allowed to do that anymore. "When you go to school, you have to follow the rules," he said. "What would happen if every boy and girl hid in the supply closet after school?" "It would be very smushy in there," I said. Then he made his eyes frowny. "But we wouldn't know where anyone was, would we?" he said. "Yes," I said. "We would all be in the supply closet." The principal looked up at the ceiling, and I looked up too, but I didn't see anything again. After that, Mother looked at my band-aids. "Did you hurt yourself?" she asked. And so I told her all about the dangerous nurse's office, and then I showed her the nurse's purple sweater, and she made me give it back. After that, everybody started leaving. The firemen and the policemen, and also the tall lady with the bed. Here's a picture of the principal talking to her. And look at her sweater, the big long sweater from the nurse's office. Then finally my mother got to take me home. And guess what? I didn't have to ride the stupid smelly bus. Except the car wasn't that fun because Mother was grouchy at me. "I'm sorry the bus wasn't fun for you, Junie B," she said. "But what you did was very, very wrong. Didn't you see all the commotion you caused? You had a lot of people very scared." "Yes, but I didn't want chocolate milk poured on my head," I explained to her. "That's not going to happen," growled Mother. "And you can't just suddenly decide for yourself not to ride the bus. Hundreds of kids ride buses every day. And if they can do it, you can do it too." Then my eyes got wet again. "Yeah, but those meanies on that thing," I said all sniffly. Then Mother stopped being so growly. "What if you had a friend to ride with?" She said. "Your teacher told me there's a girl in your class who will be riding the bus for the first time tomorrow. Maybe you could sit together. Would you like that?" I made my shoulders go up and down. "Her name is Grace," said Mother. "Grace?" I said. "Hey, I know that Grace. I learned her today." And so when we got home, Mother called that Grace's mother, and then they talked, and then me and that Grace talked too. I said hi, and she said hi, and she said she would sit with me. And so tomorrow I get to take my little red purse on the bus, and I get to sit it on the seat next to me so nobody will sit there. Nobody except for that Grace, of course. And then she and me might get to be buddies, and we can hold hands just like me and Lucille. I will like that, I think. And guess what else? Tomorrow, I think I might like yellow a bit too. Sorry about that, guys. But you know what? We didn't learn Mrs. name. We don't know her last name still. And Junie B now has Lucille, who's her friend, and Grace. I wonder how that's going to work out, having two friends. I don't know that Junie B can have two friends. We'll have to see. Yeah. All right, so Miss Mindy will read book 2, and I promise we won't have that big gap between them. I think we can read them in 3 sessions because they're pretty short chapters, and they're very entertaining, if not stupid. I'm sorry. Okay? So I will see you next time. Bye.